What's up, guys? It is episode 12 of Should I Feel Strongly About? I am Meghan Wieser, Dr. Meghan Wieser, a physio coach at Recharge. This week we're talking about kind of like a hodgepodge of different things, but it was inspired by it's very timely. So it's Women's History Month, and also last week or earlier this week it was International Women's Day. So I've been reading a book called Strong Like Her by Haley Shapley. I might be pronouncing her name wrong. But if you are a woman, I highly, highly, highly encourage reading this. Even if you're not a woman, I think it's good. Active, not active, whatever. It's actually super interesting. And I'm not that far into the book right now, but I read a passage this morning that kind of got me thinking and like triggered me a little bit naturally. But essentially there was this guy, his name was Bob Hoffman, and he was the owner of York Barbell, I think. And back in the 1930s, when women were starting to like dip their toe in weightlifting and stuff, he was trying to put out this message that it's not like basically the same message we've been trying to put out today. But anyway, in the 1930s, Bob Hoffman, owner of York Barbell, was trying to put out this message that it's not manly for a woman to lift weights. It's actually really good for our health and makes people more resilient and more capable. And obviously, he got a lot of pushback for that, except for the people who are already drinking that Kool-Aid. And I thought to myself, I was like, 90 freaking years ago. I still see shit like that on the internet and like simple-minded individuals spouting this stupid bullshit that women are going to get bulky or manly if they do anything physically active. So part of me like got a little pissed off, and I was like, that's what today's content's going to be on. So, there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of fitness marketing, specifically towards women, that make claims to improve their fitness or improve their health, when in actuality, it's probably hindering progress and hindering health. So I'm going to go through a couple of those today. But that book, Strong Like Her by Haley Shapley, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but really good so far. And fun fact, if like you're lifting weights, we have like one specific, well, there's a lot of women who played into that, but she talked about this woman named Abby Stockton, but she goes by Pudgy Stockton. That was the nickname that she was given, but she is essentially like, we should all thank her because we can now touch barbells and lift them because she was a freaking badass. The first one being that there are specific exercises that women should do, and men should do, or that women should avoid because they're women. And that's like a crack of shit. I mean, muscle is muscle. Like if you took a biopsy and took my muscle out of my body and put it in a petri dish, and took a dude's muscle and took it out of his body and put it in a petri dish, it is the same tissue. It will respond to the same types of stimulus, load, nutrition, stress management, all that stuff. Muscle is muscle. There are no gender-specific exercises, no gender-specific movements. You can do the same exact things that your dude friend, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, are doing when you go to the gym together. I keep seeing articles that say, if you are a woman, these are 6 exercises you should definitely do. And I hope to God they're all squat, deadlift, push, pull, hinge. Hello? Anyway, so muscle is muscle. There are no gender-specific movements or exercises. There's nothing you should avoid just because you are a woman. Obviously, that's context-specific and goal-specific, but blanket statements here, right? There's also this narrative out there that women, if they are strength training, should be doing lighter weights and higher repetitions. And that's also not entirely true either. Now, yes, there is a specific way that you should probably train if you're looking for like muscle hypertrophy, like a bodybuilding, like trying to get muscle gain, and a specific way to train for like skill development or for like strength building. That's going to dictate a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean that women inherently, like if they're going to strength train, they should do lighter weights and higher reps. In actuality, we should be incorporating all different types of time under tension and different types of volume and different weights, because that's what's going to make your body truly resilient and capable of a lot of things across the spectrum of different levels of fitness. So, and not exclusive to just lifting light weights for lots of reps. Go get that 200-pound barbell. One of my favorites is the taglines that say, like, do this workout to improve fat loss on your thighs, or improve fat loss on your arms, or, insert body part. And I hate that because we can't spot reduce body fat. We can target specific muscle groups and specific muscles to get stronger at and to work those muscles, but that inherently is not going to target, fat loss on your triceps or your thighs or whatever. We can't pick and choose where we lose fat. A large component of that is just genetics. Like, we carry fat tissue in different places because of our genetics. So you can't just kind of pick and choose where it goes. That's more of a global energy in versus energy out kind of thing. There's also this one that I keep, like, I don't know if I see it as often, but I've heard people say it. There's like this thought process that you need to be working at a certain heart rate or heart rate zone in order to improve fat loss. And I think people are misunderstanding, because I think people are misunderstanding the difference between utilizing fat and lipids as an energy source and a substrate in, like, exercise metabolism and fat loss. They are not the same. So when we're working out for longer periods of time, you've probably heard the term like aerobic and oxidative phosphorylation and all that stuff. You may not have heard that term, but anyway, when we get into longer periods of exercise, your body does utilize lipids and fats as more of a substrate because we've already, used up a lot of our glucose stores. But that doesn't mean that you need to be working out at that heart rate zone. That doesn't correlate to heart rate zone and what heart rate you should be working at to improve fat loss. They're two different things. Fat as a tissue is different than utilizing fat lipids as a substrate in exercise metabolism. Last but not least, my favorite one is that women will get bulky if they lift weights or if they strength train. And if you know anything about me by now, I think that's a crock of shit, and not even what I think. Like, science doesn't care what I think. It's just not, that's not true. First of all, like, I think there's some more things on a deeper level to unpack if you are that concerned about your body aesthetically changing as that body is improving its capability and resilience to do physical things and to do hard stuff. So that's natural. Like, your body's meant to change a little bit. And obviously, as what our capabilities tend to be, your body's going to change in tandem with that. So if that's a concern, obviously there's a larger conversation to have and to unpack with that. But also I think, like, this whole, like, don't get bulky kind of thing is in itself its own form of, like, body shaming. Like, for me, that's the point. I want to get really strong and I want to look like I have muscles. But for someone else, I don't know. I kind of go both ways with this. Because describing somebody as bulky in a negative connotation is in itself its own way of, like, body shaming that person, or that look, even though it's a very healthy look and comes from a lot of work and determination. But obviously there are some folks who are genuinely concerned that their looks will change if they start to strength train. And there's some level of anxiety going into the weight room too for the first time, because we know strength training is good for us. From a bone health perspective, tendon health perspective, joint health, everything. Like, everyone should strength train. With that being said, it is really hard for women to bulk up at the same rate that a male does. And that comes down to, one, genetics, and two, just the hormonal differences between us, between men versus women. But that's not to say that women can't improve their muscle mass either. Like, that comes with time and dedicated, purposeful training and purposeful nutrition, and good recovery. Good athletes recover well. If you're a woman and you want to start strength training and you're nervous about going in the weight room, if you want to be there, you belong there. We belong wherever we want to belong, okay? So if you need advice, reach out to somebody. Talk to me. I'll tell you where to start. And push the dudes over as you get through there, right? So, yeah. So that was a lot. But I thought it was pretty timely because of it being Women's History Month, International Women's Day. Women were more impacted by this pandemic from a job perspective than men were. I think it's something like 55% of women accounted for all like the 20 million jobs that were lost. So it's relevant, it's timely, and yeah. So go get that book, Strong Like Her, and let me know what you think. I'd love to start more conversations about this stuff. So subscribe, and I'll see you next time.